Okay, here we go, I guess. Hi, my name is Taylor, and in 11 days, I will be undergoing ACL Reconstruction Surgery. I'm just gonna lead with how it happened. So, I tore my ACL on January 26th, going off of a ski jump that I've been off 1,000 times. And have fallen on 500 times. So it was honestly quite the run-of-the-mill experience at first. But I'm honestly surprised that it hasn't happened sooner, considering the amount of times that I've fallen on that jump.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
So I went off of it just too fast and then didn't bend my knees. And so when I landed, my knee went boop. And I heard the two pops. It was so audible. I hit the ground and I slid. And then I sat there for a second. And in my head, I thought, and I was like, oh no. I went, crap. It was great. I was very lucky with my family, so they were able to pull me aside and be like, you okay? And at first, everyone was telling me it was my meniscus, and so I was fully prepared for it to be my meniscus. I'm a bit of a hard ass when it comes to admitting that I need help or going to a doctor, so I did not go to a doctor for 2 weeks after the incident occurred, mostly because I kept telling myself that I was fine because I could put my weight on it, but when it swelled up to be twice the size of my normal knee, and people were starting to find it rather gross when I was making them poke it, I decided it was time to go see my primary care doctor. So I went and I made an appointment with him, sat down and talked for a while, and he also thought it was my meniscus initially because it sounded like the way that I had landed and the way that I had tore it. It had just sounded like it was my meniscus to everyone, especially like where the pain had been located. So just to be sure, he wanted me to have an MRI and an x-ray. So the next week, that's what I did. And then silence. I had no word of what had happened for about a week past that. No one called me. No one told me to called me to tell the results of the MRI or the x-ray. So I was really left in the dark at that point. And then I got a call from a specialist saying that he'd like to meet me, which that's never the fun route to take at first, is it? So went and had a meeting with the specialist who sat down and was like, well, you obviously know what's going on. And I was like, no, sir, I know nothing of this situation. And he was very shocked and delighted to tell me that I shredded my ACL completely and that I would be needing surgery. And that was a very real moment for me because I've had 2 major surgeries in the past, and both of them were, I'm not going to say a walk in the park, but they were a lot easier for me because I still had range and my freedom, and I could still move about as I wished. But with this surgery, being my ACL, being my leg, it is going to take me a while to get back to a standard of which I hold myself to when it comes to my activities. Because of getting this surgery, it has knocked out doing skiing for the rest of the season. Since this happened back in January, I had only gone skiing like 6 times that year, and that really sucked. But it also knocked out my summer plans, which for me are backpacking related. For the last 2 years, and for all of the years going past this one, I intend to always go into the Wind River mountain range in Wyoming. This year we were aiming for Indian Basin because last year we'd gone to Titcomb Basin. So it was actually kind of the full circle moment of me hitting the ground and sitting there, and my first thought following crap was, well, there goes backpacking. So when sitting with the specialist and talking to him for a bit, he told me that with a brace, if I truly didn't want to get surgery for the next 6 months, that I didn't have to, and that I still could go backpacking, but to be very, very careful. And got me situated with a big brace, and I thought that was it. I thought that I would get surgery in October and that we would move on with our lives. But that was not what ended up happening. My dad, one of my best friends, convinced me that school, as I am in college, comes first, and that I should get the surgery over with and the brunt of not being able to walk over the summer, where work isn't as busy and school is not an issue. So I listened to his wisdom, sucked up the sadness in my heart of not being able to go backpacking this season, and called up my doctor. I am lucky enough to have TRICARE, as I am a military child, and they worked diligently to get me in contact with my surgeon, in April 17th. And we very quickly discussed, even though I was very, very anxious the entire time I was in there, he was able to resolve a lot of my fears, and we discussed which surgery I'm going to be getting and how it's going to go down, and then we picked a date. So I want to be honest with this whole video thing that I'm doing, because I feel like this whole thing has been really rather emotional for me. I am a extremely independent person, and this entire process has really made me realize how I can't be independent and I have to lean on people for this. And I won't be able to have the freedoms that I've taken in the past. But luckily, I have an absolutely amazing best friend and a great roommate and a great dad and a lot of really good friends who have been helping me along the way with this, and who have been calling me stupid like every other time I talk about it, because they're like, Taylor, you're gonna be fine, and you should have gone to the doctor sooner. But I have a really good support system, and I know that. It is, however, now, for me, a mental game. And that mental game has been very, very faulty as of late. And I have not been doing the greatest job at dealing with this. And I think that's honestly because I am very scared of it. And I want to be honest about that. I am very, very scared of having this surgery. My mom has had surgery 3 times. My dad has had surgery twice. This will be my first. On their knees specifically, that's what I should say. My mom has had ACL Reconstruction Surgery twice. So I know it's not necessarily something that I should be as scared of as I am. It's a routine surgery, and I have a really, really good surgeon. However, and there is a but. Every time I do something right now, even though my knee is unstable and is definitely not up to par with how I run my life, and I have to put on a knee brace to go for a walk, and I have to have people help me stand up sometimes, and I have to ask for help. Every time that I look at my knee, even though it looks fine on the outside, I sit and I stare at it, and with the passing days, I know that I'm not going to be able to do what I'm doing right now, which is sitting cross-legged at my desk. I'm going to have to work to bend my leg, which is really scary. And for anyone who's watching this who is going to have ACL surgery or any surgery at all, and you're scared and you're worried about what's going to happen, I want you to know that I get it. I want you to know that I understand and that you are valid for being scared, because even if you feel stupid for feeling scared about it, like I do, I should not be as scared as I am to have this surgery. And I've had a surgery that was worse than that was far more major, but I'm scared to lose my mobility. And I know that it's going to hurt, and I know that I'm going to have to work to get up to the level that I was before this incident. ACL surgery is scary. All surgery is scary, but it's scary. Okay, jumping past that. So, okay, so why am I making these videos? Well, I am clearly not an influencer, nor do I care to be. So that's not why. And I'm not going to call these vlogs because I am very inconsistent. I wanted to make this video when it was 2 weeks, not 11 days, but finals kind of got in the way, so had to jump past that. I am making these videos because I want to have an electronic diary of what is going to happen. And I want anyone who is scared of having this surgery or worried or just curious to be able to follow along with my experience when it comes to this. So let's see how it goes, I suppose. I will try my hardest to make videos pretty much every day leading up to my surgery, and then do my post-op videos of recovering and seeing what the first 4 weeks are like, and then the next 6 months, which I can't promise that I'll post all the time, and I can't promise that these will be daily videos, but I will stay as diligent in my video making as I possibly can. So yeah. My name is Taylor, and I will be having ACL reconstruction surgery in 11 days. What the fuck am I doing?